this is a typical phonics lesson. We're going to talk about how to teach the sound of the letter B. We suggest that when you work with your child that you use what we call a hand-over-hand technique. We know kids today like to sort of click on everything, and this way you get them to click on what it is they need to hear. We want to tell the child that the letter B makes the sound B with a minimal production of the vowel that's attached to it. And what we see when we click on the letter B is two tiles, one that tells you the initial sound, or I should say the sound of the letter B in the initial position, and the other one shows you the sound of in the end of a word.
B can make the sound B, as in bicycle.
Okay, initial position, and now here's final position.
B can make the sound B, as in light bulb.
Okay, now if we click on
B
the
can make the sound B. B can make the sound.
Now it's in our initial sound box. If we click on the other B, so we're looking for words that begin and end with the sound B.
B.
As you can see, it's in our final position box. And here's a screen that shows 8 words that begin and end with the sound B. Now the kids mouse over the words and listen.
Ward, bathrobe, bathtub, bib, blob, lob, brag, bulb, bib.
And kids will typically find other words besides the one you might be looking for interesting. For example, most kids don't know that Bob is a haircut. So they find these sorts of things amusing. When there are new meanings for words, they think of Bob as just a guy's name. Also, again, as a reminder, the kids have to maintain a word journal. The word journal has a section for phonics, also has a section for vocabulary. So we would have the children write some words with the B sound, but in addition, if they come across a word like blob or bob that they find interesting, they can look the word up and put it in their word journal. So what we're going to do now is, just to ensure that the kids understand the connection between the sound and the letter, we're going to pick beginning and ending sounds, with one of them being the B sound, so that we can practice this. So we have our B initial sound here. What we want now is what we want now is G in the final position. So we're going to click on the letter G. Now we haven't taught this sound to the kids yet necessarily, but we're going to just include these so that the kids can hear how the sound is used in different words. So again, here referring to the B sound.
G can make the sound G, as in dog.
So G is the sound that we want. So we're changing the final position. As you see here, we've got B at the end. Now we're going to change it to
G
at
can
the end. Okay. Now here we see a screen of words beginning and ending with B initial and G in the final position. We mouse over the words.
Rag, neg, erg, dig, digwig,
Most kids find that one funny.
bog, brag,
Brag, everybody knows someone who brags. And so on. Also notice, and we will use this page again down the road when we're working on short vowels, because we have every representation of short vowels here. We've got bag, short A, beg, short E, big, short I, bog, short O, and bug, short U. So that comes in rather handy down the road when we're focusing on short vowel sounds, which we're going to do shortly. Now, we're going to change the sounds again. We're going to put B back in the final position.
B.
And we're going to select a different beginning sound. We're going to click
F.
on the letter F.
F can make the sound as in frog.
I'm going to click on that. And that was not the one I wanted to do. Oh, I wanted to do the L.
L.
Okay.
L.
So now here's ul at the beginning of words and B at the ends of words. And as you can see, we have 3. We have,
lab, light bulb, lobe,
again, new vocabulary words. Remember to put them in our word journal. In some cases, as I said, initial and final sound will result in pages and pages of words. But for these early lessons, it's good to pre-select your sound so that you know that you're finding a page that doesn't have that many representations of the sound that we're looking for. So if this is, say, our first phonics lesson, we might stop working on phonics here and do some other educational / fun game for kids. For example, we might go to Game Goo and do a game called Sassy Seals, which is an activity that focuses on identification of phonemes, or we call phonemic awareness. Or we might do a little research on something interesting that begins or ends with our book sound.
B.
So I've
B.
noticed over the years that kids are very interested in bears.
R.
R
So
can make
if we select a beginning and ending sound and find the word bear,
Bear.
and we click there, and let's say we click on Search Ask for Kids,
Search Ask for Kids.
we'll see a screen that results in a search and a listing of things that have something to do with bears. Now, some of these are a little commercial, things like Care Bears, rather commercial things, but if we really wanted to find out things about real bears, we might...
Gander Academy's Polar Bear. From Gander Academy, this Polar Bear site is for primary students and teachers.
Oh, maybe we'll click here.
Gander
Oop, I guess not.
back. Back.
Let's see if we can find someplace else.
Up.
The Berenstain Bears,
Berenstain Bears.
that's a
Home.
cartoon show.
PBS.
It's also a series of books. I mean, children were really interested in actual bears.
From Gander Academy.
Learning about bears. You know, what we might do here instead is, for example,
Home.
go into
Home.
our
Fa-
favorites and select Google.
Kids Voyager.
Or maybe San
Oh,
Diego
San
Zoo.
Diego.
Perhaps that's in our favorites. And
Spelled word.
we don't have bear anymore.
E. D. A.
Pick our beginning
B.
sound again of
B. B.
our ending sound
Q.
of
R.
R can
Bear.
and click bear. Now we've got bear in
Spelled
our
word.
search box. And as you see, it's
Bear.
here. Bear's in the search box again. So if we click there, maybe we'll find something interesting about bears at the San Diego Zoo website. And sure enough, there it is. We've got, and well, let's let Merlin say it. Don't know why he's not reading this, but let's say San Diego Zoo's Animal Bites. Let's do polar bear. And let's see what we can learn about polar bears. Oh, where'd that go?
Ridge along the coasts and inland streams and lakes of Alaska and Canada in North America, Greenland, Norway, and Russia.
So kids can find videos about bears, and they can also hear about
Maybe
bears.
it's cold outside. Polar bears live on ice and snow, but that's not a problem. These bears have some cool ways to stay warm.
Okay, you might listen a little
Hair
more.
dense, thick undercoat of fur is protected by an outer coat of long guard hairs that stick together when wet, forming a waterproof barrier to keep them dry, even though polar bears look white.
Okay, so that's just an idea about how you can find words just by browsing through beginning and ending sounds and looking at things that might be interesting to kids. Another thing I didn't mention, by the way, is just at this point when kids are playing around, they start looking
B.
at, or I
B
start pointing
can-
out for them, aspects of sounds and words, and just they start to notice, well, things like this, for example.
Bear. Order. Bear. Bizarre.
You got
Bear.
and
Bear.
bear and bear. So we
Bartender.
might start paying attention to things like
Barber.
homophones. Even with the younger kids, we notice that they start paying attention to this because they're really hearing it. It really emphasizes the fact that we've got two different spellings and we've got the same
Next.
pronunciation. I just want to see
Next.
one other thing here. Okay, so here we have
Bizarre.
bizarre.
Last.
We have
Bizarre.
bizarre. Again, homophones, different spelling. very different spelling. That double A is really very unusual. And then the other kind of bizarre, which means really strange. So this is a typical phonics lesson. Again, depending upon what sound you're using, you're going to select your beginning and ending sound. The lessons are all spelled out, but here's one that, again, this is just so that you can get a good sense of how to use it.